Democratic Party. I think, remember what I said when I was starting, that it's normal. What's happening in the political scene would be normal. And it's not only UDA.
You've seen what UDA has done to other parties.
And probably even this week we might understand that the United Opposition probably going through a gravitation to understand, the ground and what ground footing are they still holding. And it's normal. I said it's normal with what is going on in ODM by the function that everyone is testing its ground. Everyone is trying to solidly galvanize the ground to, portray a message of strength and that they're still strong or they're stronger. However, I will agree that the nature of our political parties is hanging around personalities and ethnicity. And once circumstances like that do not exist because of conditions like for death, like now we are talking about the former party leader, then there's definitely going to be a shift in the party. There's definitely going to be people pulling towards different directions. It started when people saying that when Baba died, they told me this. Others saying, I dreamt that he told me this. Everyone is pulling towards the figure of what Baba could have actually said, and which is okay, which is comfortable. Yeah. But I don't believe that this probably could be the death of the political party. I think that probably post-election or even pre-election, they would galvanize around. These voices, I believe, that would come together.
We've seen
towards it. Remember, there's a call for NDC. We might not even postulate. What probably would come with the NDC, the ODM party.
To the formation of the Jubilee Party. Two strong parties come together, TNA, URP, and they work as a Jubilee Alliance. Then after some point they realize, okay, fine, probably it would be more convenient if we just make this Jubilee Alliance the Jubilee Party, forget about URP and TNA. They may go into 2027 as an alliance, ODM, UDA, but after that, it is definitely a journey towards a different party. President Ruto has been very clear about what he wants, one big monolithic party, like the Communist Party.
Actually, dealing with ODM is a bit different from dealing with these other traditional political parties, and especially when you talk about TNA and URP. Because as Meshach rightfully puts it initially, he said that they have been in the opposition for the longest. They've known protest for the longest. So these are people that are also freely, they've been expressing themselves. Okay, and they speak out. A majority of the ODM politicians are not what I would call timid politicians. I'm just comparing them with other parts of Kenya. And therefore, that freedom that they exercise and they are used to, the people who are involved in this creation of the coalition must be very keen, because there's too much noise coming from within ODM, just within ODM. Forget even about the UDA-ODM, no, ODM itself, because there's some people who believe that this is not how it should go. Others say, oh, Baba said this, Baba told this, Baba, if Baba was there, would have done things different. And I think it is because of the foundation on which the party was created. Now, however, there's something, as Wakili was speaking, there's something that I remembered. Before Baba rested, and while he was joining when he was joining Ruto to form the broad-based government, there's something he said. And I like quoting what he said as opposed to what other people report. And he said, I have joined my brother William Ruto, and it is Uhuru Kenyatta who requested me to sort of help him put his house in order, or something close to that. This country's politics revolves around, we know the key figures, and I like the fact that my brother also said that our politics revolves around personalities. Majority of these people, whether you're talking about the Kenyatta faction, which is strong, whether you're talking about the Odingas, whether you're talking now the people who hold power today, if you look at them very well, they don't mind status quo. They work very hard to protect status quo and to even protect each other. And therefore, for me, for ODM moving forward and continuing working with UDA, the question that we should ask ourselves, and maybe that's where the next conversation should start, who are these people involved in the machinations and everything else, the maneuvers and what is happening currently in the two parties. Remember, these people in ODM, including Junet, have come out very strongly to mention the name of Uhuru Kenyatta. Yet Uhuru Kenyatta has his own party called the Jubilee Party. Why are they mentioning him? They are very, this is a debate that we dwelled on, I think, the better part of last week and the other week. And therefore, at times I look at ourselves who come here to debate on these issues with you as watu wa kizungu mingi. Because at times we really do not understand certain dealings that happen at a very high level.
We can just make comparisons because, and that's why I made a comparison with what happened leading to the formation of the Jubilee Party. And isn't it historically, and it involved very high-ranking politicians in Kenya, that ODM may not be able to maintain its identity after this coalition, that may change after a while. And I just, allow me to inform you, we have only about 8 minutes, so 2 minutes each for your final comments.
Yes, so, Fred, I want to put it this way. In the existing political parties now that are at that level of the which we would consider national parties with presence all over, I think of all of them, ODM has managed to be in so many coalitions than any of them, because ODM was in a coalition in 2013, ODM was in a coalition in 2017, and ODM was in a coalition in 2022. So ODM,
Even 2007.
and yeah, so if that ODM is the one that everybody is able to come to a panel like this, like Wakili, and dismiss that ODM has been swallowed.
That was Raila.
Wait, has been swallowed.
That was Raila.
But the same time, he probably belongs to a party that is 2 or 3 years old, has never seen a coalition with their own eyes, and he believes in the coalition where they are. They have not been swallowed by anyone. Actually, they are the ones swallowing. And ODM, which is 20 years in a coalition, cannot swallow. Can't you see that reasoning? It is not a reasoning that I will want to buy in a panel like this.
But you do accept that after Raila Odinga, things have changed?
Post-Raila Odinga, let me tell you, post-Raila Odinga, ODM must go through some problems because, of course, a towering figure like Raila leaving must leave a gap. But are there no people in that party that were with Raila all this time? When I listened to a clip or I watched Mama Aida Odinga tell the country and the world at large that apart from me, his wife, the next person he trusted most, leave alone his children, was Dr. Oburu Odinga. Is that statement not in your gadgets in this studio? Right. That Oburu Odinga she talked about is the party leader today. When Mama Aida told the whole world that it is Oburu Odinga, if you wanted anything from Raila, you would rather talk to Oburu Odinga to make things easy for you. And the president, ODM at 20 in Mombasa, came out to tell us that the person who negotiated, the person other than Raila and me, the only other person who was in that room, it was Dr. Oburu Odinga. Even the person who brought me the list of the ministers I appointed from ODM was Dr. Oburu Odinga. Why are we all of a sudden not thinking that Oburu Odinga can maintain the ODM identity post-Raila? The man who was there all the time. Now the people who have never been there are all of a sudden, parties that have never gone beyond one constituency are now all of a sudden clever and are able to tell ODM how to maintain identity and how to be national. Parties that have never known what being national is. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, but
you see,
maintain its identity after this.
ODM won't. And you see, that's the reality. Unfortunately, people like Meshach do not want to admit that reality. The only person in the face of ODM was one Raila Odinga. He's the one who entered into a coalition with Kibaki in 2007, 2008. He's the one who had a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. He's also the one who was in broad, or whatever he said.
It was never the party.
Yes, it was never the party. You see, and that's the truth. This was Raila Amolo Odinga. He is no longer there. That's the reason why ODM is begging day in, day out, let us support you in 2027. They are the ones who are coming up with that proposition that we want to be in broad-based government. Because they realized on their own, ODM cannot even win half of the seats that they have right now. That's the truth of the matter.
Right.
We went
Yes.
from
I mean,
and
there was a
you see,
violation of 6
It was final
constituencies, and ODM won 3.
Now,
Let Wakili tell us what his party won, because he cannot speak.
Wakili, are you done with your final
comment?
comments?
no, I'm not done.
How many seats
30
did
seconds.
your party win in the
they-
by-election? 6 constituencies.
It is not time for debate.
Yes.
Final comments on it.
No, my final comment on this is this one. And I go back to what happened in Udaya. I'll have to be very clear. And IG Kanja, and I'm addressing this to the IG. It's time you realize you're being set up. You will take up responsibility personally. Do not allow rogue people, politicians, to use your police force to advance their personal agenda.
Thank you. Bwana Orogo, final comments on it.
Politics of identity. I mean, this is what we are debating this morning, and we put the facts into order. Let me correct Wakili again and say that even though Honorable Raila was the one appending his signature, it was PNU and ODM. So the party was quite involved in terms of getting that agreement together. However, Fred, I also like to just say that we are moving towards a dangerous predictory that we are seeing right now, where we are normalizing violence and using state organs and machinery, to violate people's rights on expression and in worship. I think all these we must condemn, because if we don't, if it's right with us today, it means that tomorrow somebody will face the same thing and will find it right. So I think it is quite important for us to be very vigilant as a nation, that we express our view towards the dissatisfaction of security agencies being used in political violations. I think that will clearly tell. And please, there are other presidential candidates that I think we need to focus on. There are so many that has declared in united opposition, so I think it could be very fair moving forward that we also look at the likes of President Marageni, look at the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, look at the likes of other presidential candidates that have declared, even Nokia, so that we have a balanced political debate here.
My job is very easy. I simply look at the front pages. I don't go fishing for a name that is not making headlines. Finally, final comments.
Our political bad manners. We have normalized for a very, very long time that one, we introduce violence, we spit bile, anger, and all manner of bad things in our politics. And then after we have experienced enough chaos, then people are called to the table, either to negotiate, to agree on power sharing, and stuff like that. That time is over. And it is very important for our politicians to remember that we are dealing with a population that is woke. And I say this because in Kenya, the opponents of today, the guys opposing William Ruto today, and the people that William Ruto is opposing today, can meet tomorrow and have handshakes and agree to work together. But before those handshakes happen, so many people maybe will have died, or so many people will be affected negatively. I think it is important that we introduce and moving forward, we speak to issues as opposed to insulting each other and those kind of things. And I want to quote one member of parliament that I observed last week, Mheshimiwa Dede Nyoro. He was addressing a very sensitive issue in parliament together with the committee on privatization. And he didn't have to insult anybody. Can we take that route as a country, as opposed to heckling and insulting each other in rallies?
Thank you so much. I can see someone complain sana hapa anaitwa at Lusigi Justus 6767. TV47 national issues like Gunism and armed gangsters by police has given 25 minutes maximum. Useless ODM, UDA, PA and whatever formation which is of less national security is given 1 hour. What is the